They assemble at night, each one having prepared as diligently as possible for the time given to them before the witching hour, the hour of reckoning, the time when they begin outdoor cartoon television. Stray Cats is on the air.
Fish it out.
My face is cracked from smiling all the tears that she's been hiding. And it seems like pretty soon everybody's gonna know. Yeah, this is Stray Cats Outdoor Cartoon Television.
Woo.
It is a celebration day. I am the Bugs Bunny of bass fishing, Pat Renwick, and another spectacular show lined up for you today. Jam-packed, absolutely packed. I don't even know what to do with what's going on here right now. But coming up first, we have let's just go in order. Tell you what we got worked up here. First off, we have the Aussie. He's from Australia. Carl Jocumsen.
Yeah.
Carl Jocumsen coming on the show. Then we have world champion Bobby Lane. World champion Bobby Lane is coming on here, fresh off the MLF victory. Big time, big time. And then Brandon Palaniuk. Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Brandon Palaniuk.
Palaniuk.
Palaniuk. And Jake Boomer from Alpha Rods coming on. But wait, what's going on? Is somebody there?
There's rustling.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, wait.
Hello.
Hey, wait. Who? Wait a minute. Is this the
This
furious?
is Kevin Van Dam.
What's up, Kevin Van Dam? How you doing, man? This is the Furious Hog Fondler. That's who this is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the champion, Elite Series champion at the Champlain event. Aaron Martens joins us live right now. What? Wait a minute. I told you I'm the Bugs Bunny of bass fishing. What's going on, dude? Aaron? He hung up on us.
That wasn't Kevin Van Dam.
That wasn't Kevin Van. Are you there, Aaron? Aaron. There you are. We got you.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're back.
I was there.
Oh,
I have good service. I have good service and everything. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we're here right now. What's going on, dude? Congratulations, man. That was outstanding win right there.
That was an awesome win. That was one of my favorites ever.
Yeah, dude, I mean, historic. Here's the best thing about it. Okay, you coming back in 19th place going into the last day, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was
19th place.
And then you totally sandbag Bass live in the Bass track.
That was terrible. I felt bad. I think I made some people mad when I did that. I never do that. I'm usually really close to the Bass track to get status. But the first day I had 18.8, and I thought I had 19.12, and that threw me a curveball. I couldn't believe I thought I had way more than that. I never overestimate hardly ever, and I was shocked. So the final day, just kept catching these beautiful fish, and I just knocked a quarter pound, 5 ounces off each fish what I thought they were. And if I would have judged them how I thought they were, I would have had 23 pounds. Pretty funny.
You could tell us you did it on purpose, didn't you?
I know Bowman and some other stuff are like, why did you underestimate some guys? They kind of messed the show up, but I didn't mean to do it. It was accidental.
Dude, it's bass history. Come on, that was history right there.
It was awesome. I never saw a boat all day. Never saw an elite boat. Never saw a camera boat. Never saw a cameraman. Just had jet skis, patio boats towing tubes all afternoon around me. That was all I had. Besides that, I was by myself.
Oh my gosh, man.
That's awesome.
So to completely.
You know what that means? You know what that means? You know what that means too is that very few people saw where I was fishing. I might actually be able to fish there again.
Right?
What happens in these tournaments is you show everybody where you're fishing, and the whole field knows where you're fishing, and you never go back there again.
Yeah, it gets totally molested.
I don't think a lot of people realize that that's a huge because you only learn these lakes so well, and they're big lakes, and you find special spots. You know, during the years you fish them, and when you do good in tournaments, all that spot's toast.
Yeah, dude.
But actually, I found a nothing little spot that was fantastic, and
It's all yours.
It's a good sized area. A good sized area. It wasn't really a spot, it was an area, and I'm glad that not that many people went over at that.
They can't say now I'm going to go fish Aaron's spot and totally violate it. They can't.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
How do you feel mentally, man? I know you were kind of feeling low, dude.
I was kind of. I've been confident. I've been good attitude all year. It just seems like nothing would ever go right this year. Even Rayburn had a chance to win or easily make a top 12 there. Every day I lost my biggest fish on different baits. It wasn't like a crankbait, a frog, a shock blade. I mean, it's basically, don't usually lose fish on. I didn't lose that many fish either, but I have to lose my biggest one every day. I mean, 8-pounders and stuff. It's just weird.
Oof.
But that's how it's been going. I mean, the years I've won AOI, I never lose a fish. So a lot of it does come down to fish you lose to determine how well your year turns out.
Yeah, dude,
I think my ability to land fish and hook them is better than ever, which is the weird part. So I don't know how it works, how sumps work, but maybe this is the end of it. Because usually it's historically for me about every 7 or so years I have a couple bad ones.
It's the 7-year itch.
My third.
Just blame the universe.
My third one in my career. So yeah, maybe it's over.
Yeah, it is over, and you're going to a place that's very. It is over, Aaron. We know that. And there's.
I love St. Clair.
Dude, you're going.
It might be my favorite. I know. It might be my favorite one.
I mean, that holds a special place in your heart, dude.
That's a fun one. I love Champlain, though. I really do. That's a fantastic place. If your listeners have gone there, that'd be a great place to go spend like 5 or 6 days or 7 days. You never get sick of it. You can go to new stuff every day and fish different every day. It's just a really neat fishery. It's definitely one of my favorites in the country. I'm super happy to actually win there. But St. Clair is the same way to me. I love St. Clair. You have Huron, you have Erie, you have the terrible Detroit River, which is actually good fishing, but it's an awful place to run through in a bass boat. It's a neat place too, St. Clair.
Yeah, man. And I
Beautiful.
mean, I remember when, we were there X amount of years ago. You won the AOI there, dude. I mean, it was.
Yeah, and the next day I had tragic. It was bittersweet, or
yeah.
I don't know how you say it. Sweet, bitter. Sweet,
Could have
bitter.
won the
It was
tournament.
really sweet the day before. The next day was one of the worst days I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
but dude, you know what St. Clair does. You have an understanding of the fishery, and you got to feel really good coming off of this win, and you're going to St. Clair, and you're gonna you're probably gonna win that too. I have a feeling.
Just keep that mounting hardware in place. This time you'll be fine.
I always try every tournament to win, but that's definitely why I feel like the chances are definitely better.
You know who told me?
The chances are higher.
The ghost of Doug Hannon told me that you're going to win this one, actually, in a dream last night. So I have high hopes for you.
Ghosts in your dreams?
That'd be fantastic. 2 in a row. I've done that before. That'd be great.
Yeah, dude.
I'd like that.
And you have to promise me something, okay? You have to keep, you know that for mind, body, and soul, that the running, you're back to Aaron Martens running at derbies, right? I mean, you got to keep that going. It's important.
Yeah, I'm dedicated to running. A couple of days last week, I was working on tackle, and I got my tackle done. I just went and ran with what I was fishing in that day. I just went and ran my long pants, long sleeve shirt, the shoes I've been wearing all day. Just went and ran. A couple times ran 2 miles, a couple times ran 3 miles, just so I say I ran every day. I guess people don't understand that running. It's staying in a basket all day like that, and even though you're out there 12, 14 hours a day, it feels really good when you run a lot. To actually run every day, it almost recharges you the next day. You get out and you feel fantastic.
You do.
That's why I try to do it. Yeah, you really do.
It rejuvenates your brain, dude. I mean, there's
everything. Body, brain, keeps your system moving, lubricated, all your joints, keeps you loose and I guess strong. It really does help.
So you're at Six
Mentally,
Flags.
yeah.
Are you at Six Flags right now?
We're done. We get out of there. That place will wear you down too. All the rides and stuff. I think I went on almost every ride. I went on some a couple of times. There's actually really, really, really good rides there. They're almost too much. And I know I'm getting older now, but I used to go on rides over and over again. A couple of them, they almost make you want to pass out a little bit. They're pretty awesome.
That's an awesome
You
feeling.
got to be careful. You got to be careful. You could take a goose to the face.
They're just a lot better than they used to be. Growing up, going to Six Flags, California, Magic Mountain, those rides weren't nothing compared to what we have nowadays.
You know what my problem is at Six Flags? Every time I get in line and then I get up to the end of it, I'm never tall enough to ride the rides, Aaron.
The lines are like 5. The lines are like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, you got to be 36 inches.
There was no lines. You walked right up to the train. There was no lines. It was awesome.
Because you're Aaron Martens. That's why. Because you're Aaron
Martens got the honorary speed pass.
There was hardly anybody there. It was an awesome day. Good day for going to the amusement park.
That is outstanding. Hey, I appreciate you so much calling in, dude, and we just wanted to basically congratulate you on your win on Champlain, dude, because that is so awesome to us. We're big fans, Aaron Martens. Man.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude,
thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
What do you want to say to your fans before you get out of here?
I love you guys. Keep fishing. Enjoy. I can't believe it's this late in the season. I don't know if people feel time goes as fast as it does, but it's crazy. We're already getting close to fall.
It's almost Christmas, Aaron.
That's great. Great fishing out there, and our weather has actually been kind of decent, too. I know I've been up north for the last month or so, but it's been, even down in Alabama right now, it's 77 degrees by Birmingham. That's time to go out fishing.
I
just want to say hi to everybody and wish me luck for St. Clair, and I'll give my all for sure. I'm gonna go out there like a
hell yeah, dude.
A furious hog snatcher again. That place has got them, and I'm not trying to figure them out.
You're gonna do some furious hog fondling on.
I hope so.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And
so.
I'll see you out there. Let's go. I'll probably be there Saturday. You want to go for a run Saturday after the Derby?
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I'm up for that for sure.
All right, cool. We'll go sing songs about the past and we'll channel inner bass galaxies together as we run.
Yeah, I love running up there now. It's awesome.
It's perfect, and we can chase black squirrels. They have black squirrels there.
What's that?
In Detroit, they have black squirrels. No, it's a true story.
It is.
Yeah, they I don't know, by you in Alabama and us here in Indiana, we have regular brown or gray squirrels, but when I go running in Michigan, I thought there were skunks chasing me, but they're really squirrels.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Look out!
We'll go chase them. We'll chase them. Hey,
Oh yeah, that's something I do. I'm kind of like a dog sometimes. It actually gives you a little extra burst of energy. Chase the squirrel and try to get them. I do that a lot on my runs, actually.
I get excited.
A little chance to sprint.
I do, and I get distracted. I'm like, oh, a black squirrel, and then I chase it.
Squirrel.
Dude,
I do the same thing. I say squirrel just so I know I'm not chasing them. And I chase them. I've gotten a few of them. I've tagged a few of them.
I usually bring them home. I bring them home to my master when I catch them. Is what I do. Aaron, you are awesome. Thank you so much, dude, for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your time off, and then safe travels to St. Clair, and we'll see you up there, man.
Thanks, Dad. God bless all you guys.
You too, buddy. You and your family, man. That's Aaron Martens. He is an elite champion. He came in as a surprise here on the Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television Show. I'm Pat Renwick. This is Ryan Whitaker. JP High is here. Andrew Ellenberger's here. Bobby B's on the computer. We're going to have a great time tonight. Don't go anywhere. Put the power poles down. When we get back, Carl Jocumsen right here. Quality, dependability, consistency, and fish-catching performance is what separates a War Eagle spinnerbait from the pack. Hand-assembled, inspected, and tested in Rogers, Arkansas, War Eagle lures are the choice of Mike McClellan, Andy Morgan, Edwin Evers, and you, the serious bass angler. War Eagle lures, when you absolutely have to catch fish. Find War Eagle lures at your local tackle store or visit wareaglelures.com today. PH Custom Lures by Phil Hunt are quickly becoming the most sought-after custom balsa baits in the industry, from the Little Hunter to the Squeaky P. These baits are pure quality, handcrafted, hand-carved, and hand-painted. But most importantly, they flat-out catch fish. PH Custom Lures has a bait for any situation in a magnitude of colors. Check out the Old School, Straighter, and PH Custom series at phcustomlures.com. That's phcustomlures.com. Welcome back to Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Right now, we're extremely stoked to bring to you, for the first time ever, on the maniacy that we call Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a warm studio audience round of applause? I need you to go freaking nuts for this guy. This is Carl Jocumsen right here. Yeah! Woo! That's how we do it. That's how we do it, man. We do double internet high fives here, too.
Packed house.
Yes, give me a double
hand.
internet high five right here. Come on, go.
I've only got one. I've got to hold the phone with the other hand.
Oh, I see. You're multitasking as we talk right now. Dude, this is awesome. This is the first time that we've ever had Carl Jocumsen, and the first time we've ever had an Australian.
It's our
on
first
the show.
international angler.
Yeah, our
Nice.
first international angler ever.
Awesome.
That's it. I mean, dude, thanks so much for coming on here. I want to know something about you. I mean, I want to know some Carl Jocumsen history. Okay, I want to know. I want to know the deal. Educate us, okay?
It's a long story, but to
we got
cut
time.
Short, I fished in Australia. I've born and bred in Australia. I lived in Australia my whole life until I was 26. I competed on the bass fishing circuit in Australia since I was 15. And I did really well there right up through my whole career. And since I was, young, I basically grew up watching ESPN and the Bassmaster Elites and sort of just living and breathing fishing and tournament fishing my whole life. And then our prize for our classic in Australia is an expenses paid trip to the USA.
Oh, nice.
To fish a tournament series here. And basically since it started back in 98 or something like that, it was to try and bring up an Australian angler that could one day compete in America. So
that's you.
Fishing was just my passion since I was since I could remember. And then I got right into tournaments when I was about 12, 13, and then started competing. And then it was just my dream since about 16 to one day come to America and compete. And then in 2009, after 10 years of competing, I won Angler of the Year quite a few years and a couple of years in a row. And then I finally sort of won our Bassmaster Classic, which is called the Grand Final. And that got me the expenses paid trip to come to the States when I was like 25.
Awesome.
So that was sort of that was the kickstart to sort of my US career, and it was just a trip to see how I do and see how I liked it. I've never been out of Australia. I've never caught a largemouth bass before, never caught a smallmouth. We don't have any of those species. So it was just techniques that I'd learnt. We do use a lot of techniques from Japan and from America. We read the Bassmaster magazines and all the, watch the shows, and a lot of our techniques do come from there. But like, I'd never flipped before. I'd never fished with a jig. I'd never drop shotted. There was quite like a lot of things like that I'd never even
spawning
done.
fish, never spawning fish. I'll bet.
Never fished for a spawning bass in my life.
Yeah.
So weirdly, I picked Lake Mead. I picked the US Open to fish.
Oh, you went for
when
some
I
history.
came here, and I only knew one guy. His name was Gary Boyd. He was an older guy that had come to Australia quite a few times and fished there, and we got to know him through a lot of our guys, and he offered to help me when I came over. But I came and fished the US Open just as a co-angler. And the water was crystal clean, and it looked like Australian kind of lakes, and finesse techniques work. And my background is super finesse. So you could see the bottom in 30 feet. Well, when I got there, I fished with 2-pound braid and 4-pound leader.
Oh, wow.
And fished super long leaders. Well, everywhere I cast, I just caught bass, like everywhere I went.
You're like, wait a minute, this is easy.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the deal. So I was like in love, and the people were amazing. And I end up, just fate is a crazy thing. But I drew Fred Rombanis on the third day.
Oh yeah.
Of the tournament, and I'd grown up, watching him and seen him win, $100,000 on a frog, and he was one of my heroes. Well, we drew each other on the final day, and we just caught him, and I wrecked him doing what I was doing with the finesse techniques, and I ended up catching big bass. He jumped into the top 10, and I came second and got big bass. Well, when I flew back home, that was it for me. I was like, I'm going all in. And when I went home, I basically I didn't really quit my job, but I worked for another year and saved, and then I sold every single thing I owned. I sold my truck, my boat. I sold any little thing I had that you could get money for. They did fundraisers for me, and I packed up and said goodbye to my family and friends and everything and moved over here.
And here, the rest is history.
Wow.
Now, are you?
Yeah.
Is it true that you're still the all-time money winner in Australia fishing competitions? Is that true?
Yeah, I was when I left Australia, I was like I was double the nearest guy, double the money earners to second, and then I haven't competed there in 7 years, and it's still pretty much exactly the same.
So you're like
Wow.
You're like the Blake Honeycutt of Australia.
Exactly.
I never missed a tournament. I think in about 10 or 11 years, I didn't miss a single tournament. And towards the end of my career there, I won Angler of the Year, for sort of in 3 years, a 3-year stretch. I won it sort of every year, won quite a few events in there, and then won the grand final. So I did like a lot in my career that when I was there, but it was just I lived and breathed it, and just like I do here, it's just my life.
That's the deal, man. That's why we're all here. Now, I still am not understanding this thing about Australia, though. Now, you do or don't have bass there.
So we don't have largemouth or smallmouth bass
Okay,
or spotted bass.
But what did you fish these derbies for?
So they're called an Australian bass.
Okay.
They're a native bass to Australia, and they're very similar to, I would say they're like a white bass hybrid smallmouth cross.
Wow, it sounds mean, dude.
Yeah, they're sort of mean. They're like, they fight hard. They don't jump. They just run super hard.
They're bulldogs.
They're more a schooling fish. They hit top water. But what helped me a lot here is I fished. I was just a fisherman, I fished for bass in Australia my whole life. But every weekend, every second, every chance I get, I was fishing somewhere for some species. And if you cross the 5 main species that I fished for, which were barramundi, which grow to like 100 pounds,
Yes,
they're like
yeah.
an inland tarpon. I cut my teeth on them. I fished for Murray cod, which are a big native species that they get to over 100 pound as well, and they eat swim baits and topwater spinnerbaits. If you put all of the fish that I really dialed in over my career, if you mixed them all together, they would make a largemouth. So that's why I had a little foot in the door. If you would just fish for bass, you'd be just so far behind, because our bass are just so far off the map of what any of these bass do.
Dude, I want to fish for those.
Yeah, they're fun.
Do they get big?
Well,
Those
our
ones you're
bass
talking
like a trophy giant's like 8 pound.
Okay.
But you catch them on light line and they bust you off and they run super hard. They hit hard. Then they school up in big schools as well. So you can catch them a lot of different ways. But like I'd never caught one on. They're starting to catch them on jigs and stuff. But like drop shotting and jigs, flipping, it was everything in Australia for me was distance casting. Stay away from the fish, long casts, and more finesse sort of approach.
And barramundis are like crazy, right, dude? I mean,
And
Like
they're
a
the
schnook.
they're the one species that like I try and go home for. Like I get to go home. I'm lucky enough at the end of every year for 1 or 2 months. And when I go back, I see my family and friends and everyone that I haven't seen. And then the first trip I usually do is straight to a barramundi lake. And when I get to a barramundi lake, it's like there's no other fish that does it. It's like when you start to cast, it's like you've never caught a fish before. You get like a sick, nervous feeling.
you get that
in your
little
gut
funny
'cause-
feeling, that pitter patter, don't you?
Yeah, you'll be like you catch them on frogs and topwater and swim baits, and it's like the way to explain hooking one is like go to the highway and cast out into a truck driving past and hang on. That's what it feels like.
Oh, that's outstanding. Now in Florida, I think they have some lakes that they have stocked with barramundi, like special. Yeah. Is that true? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, but they're just little. They're little guys. They're little stock pond barramundi. I've never fished for them, but I've heard about them. But it's that doesn't really give you an idea. The impoundment or lake barramundi in Australia, they are just like an average one is 40 pounds. Like an average size. So when they get 50, 60 pound and they just they eat a swim bait or eat a frog off the top. There's nothing like it.
What do you think Aaron Martens would think if he caught a barramundi?
Well, I've been lucky. I had Kevin Short over.
Oh, nice.
Year.
Yeah,
He got
bass
to come
cat.
over, and him and his wife Carrie both caught one, and they were pretty excited about the whole thing. It was awesome, like 6-7 inch swim baits, and yeah, the hit and everything is any. I've taken quite a few Americans fishing over there, and quite a few that I know have come over, and when they've caught a barra, they usually end up trying to do a trip to Australia every year to catch them.
And I heard that Mark Zona is scared to go to Australia with you. Is that true?
Yeah, that's everyone thinks that everything kills you there, but
It does. Like, because koala bears aren't as friendly and cuddly as they're made out to be, right?
yeah, no, they're not.
They
but
eat
don't,
you.
like,
They'll eat you in your sleep.
yeah,
They're eating
that's
all
the
that
drop
eucalyptus.
bears. That's the mythical drop bear. They'll just drop out of the tree and kill you when
They
you
slit
walk
your
past.
throat. They're like, shh, 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 shh.
Yeah.
And then
No one
they
will
slit your
ever
throat.
see you again. You just walk outside and that's it. You disappear.
Disappear into the jungle.
My girlfriend Kayla, she came over last year with us, and she got to hold a koala bear at the Steve Irwin Zoo. We went there when she first came over, and she only held it for about 5 seconds, and she had to give it back because like its claws and everything were just digging into her. It wasn't like the cuddly experience she thought it was going to be.
Do you want to hear a tasteless Steve Irwin joke?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the last thing that Steve Irwin said was?
What?
Crikeys! I've been stung by a... Oh. And that was it. Right there.
That's,
Terrible.
It was awful. It was totally in bad.
yeah.
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 I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, now you're in America. You have
Yep.
come to America, and you've entered the realm of professional bass fishing.
Yeah.
American style. Now, like, we've heard stories like from Takahiro how there's an adjustment period, you know, and I guess there's parallels with you also, isn't there? I mean, it's like coming from any country to America to start bass fishing. I mean, there's not as much of a language barrier for you, but obviously the technique barrier. Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about the barriers.
It's different culture. It was like starting from scratch for me. But yeah, it's just like everything's different. So everything, day-to-day things that you would take for granted that would be easy were very difficult for me, you know, just to try and get through just day-to-day life things. And you know, just getting any sort of cash or making a card work, trying to get a driver's license, like that, going to the bank, couldn't get a bank account, like just anything, can't get fuel because I haven't got the right card, it won't work. Like for years, I just went through painful things. And the weird thing is the language barrier was just as bad, but like, because no one could understand me. It was weird. Like I could talk like this, and in the South and a lot of places and over the phone, people just couldn't understand me. We grew up, you know, watching American TV, so I understand everyone from whatever accent they've got, from the South to the North. It doesn't matter. But for me, yeah, no one could understand me, so the language barrier was kind of tough as well. But fishing wise, it was definitely a pretty big shock for me. I stayed on the West Coast for almost a year, and I fished like Pyramid and Mead and Havasu and the Clear Lakes, and it was awesome. And I was catching fish and doing well in some tournaments, but I realized that where Bassmaster, FLW, and the big tournaments were all east. So about at the end of my first year, I moved out east and got hooked up with Fred Rambanis, and then started fishing like the Red River and Grand Lake, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa, now I'm like way out of my comfort zone.
But you came to Texas, right? Is that the first place you moved to, is Texas?
No, it was actually with Fred in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Tulsa.
Well, see, you know, as far as the language barrier goes, you moved there. You know, we can't understand half those guys down there either.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, you're in good company.
Yeah. No, I had Fred learnt my accent and I learned his, and we just translated for each other. It worked well.
Nice.
Sure.
Nice. And we have the craziest accents in this part of the country,
I
like
guess.
from Chicago, you know.
Yeah.
We're
Chicago.
from the home of the Bears and sausage and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
We just say things quick.
Yeah, we talk real
Yeah.
fast. Real.
I think that's what I think. I think people up north understand me more because I talk fast, So that was the hardest thing down south and stuff. I had to not talk as quick, but people up north seem to understand me pretty good.
Do you consider yourself meticulous in your preparation for tournaments?
Yeah.
Tell
I'm
us
like
about it.
about as bad as it gets.
Tell us about that.
Just everything that I do from what I eat to fitness to health to my gear, I try and ever since I was a kid, I just always wanted to use like the best gear and make sure I was like on top of the game or on top with every single little thing I do. And it's come right down to now we live in a Lance camper. I don't know if you can see, but I'm in a camper now, and I knew that this would help my fishing, it would help my career, help the lifestyle of staying near the lake, and just right down to the rods and reels that I use and the knots and sort of across. I like what Aaron is. He's a little bit different again with what he does, but I'm very meticulous with every little thing that I do. But I live and breathe this sport, and I want to be the best there is, and I work towards that every single day. And if there's a thing that I can think that needs to improve or I can adjust on, I do it. But just today alone, you're up at 4:30 in the morning and you're off the water late, you head into Bass Pro, you're fueling up, you're washing the boat and truck, you head into the meeting, you rig and tackle for hours, tying knots, and organising tackle warehouse orders, getting it in, clean, getting the boat sorted, fueled, rigged, charged, right down to the tiniest things. People just don't realise what goes into it, but one of the things I do look into, I just did a 5-mile run just before I got onto the phone to you guys. It just helps me, it gets my mind running, it gets me motivated, and I just think better and get clearer. And then I come back and I study, look at mapping, look at Google, the weather, and
you're overwhelming
I'm seeing
me.
a trend here.
He's completely overwhelmed. Bassing ain't easy. Bottom line.
No.
Hashtag bassing ain't easy, is it?
Carl, was
No,
that?
I went to the service crew today, and you got in there, and the guys are unbelievable. They fixed a bunch of stuff, little things that I needed sorted, and there's only a certain few people that really understand what goes into bass fishing, and like those service guys, they understand it, and we spoke about it today. And the first thing anyone says to me when I say I'm a professional bass fisherman is how lucky I am and how good it must be, and that's true. I wouldn't change it for the world, but there's a reason there's not many people doing it. There's just not many people that can put in the time and effort and hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Is that true that Rick Clunn was the one that influenced you to start camping?
I actually a couple of years ago, I was almost done. Like through my whole career in Australia, where our lakes are, there's no motels there's nothing. There's like a lake in the middle of nowhere. So since I got my driver's license, we would camp with all my mates and head to the tournaments, and that was the deal. Like it was so fun because you got a group of yous together. We'd set the tents up, fire. It was the atmosphere of fishing and camping and the camaraderie with everyone that I really loved about tournament fishing, and that was what I did. I slept for 6 or 7 years, I slept in a swag, which is just like a roll-up bed that would stay in the back of my truck, and you would just unroll it and sleep on the ground next to the fire. And your boat sort of pulled up next to the bank. And so I really loved camping. And then when I moved here, from what I could see and what we did, just no one did that. You stayed in hotels and you fished, and I just adapted to that and did that. Well, when you start paying the entry fees and you start getting your butt warped and you're running out of money, and you're just the whole deal of like going to the lake and then coming back to a hotel where my stuff wasn't safe, and I was getting fishing gear stolen, my window smashed. It was just
awful.
everything about the motel scene. I just didn't enjoy it, and I was to the point where I was like getting off the water, and I just didn't even want to be there. And I'd be in a beautiful part of the country that I'd never been to in my life, and I wanted to stay there, but I'm staying at a Motel 6, and all I want to do is get out of there.
Right.
And drive back, or I couldn't afford to stay another week in a hotel, so I would drive back to Texas or drive back to Fred's. And then I saw a couple guys that were camping, and they had the big RV buses, and I looked in their bus, and I was like, what? I was talking to them, and they were like, oh, we love the tournaments, we love fishing, it's like it's almost like a vacation. They would do that anyway. They just wanted to get away in their camper, and it was like their home away from home. And it just got me thinking, like, man, I realized that guys were doing that, and I looked into it, and then we saw the Lance camper option of the camper on the back of the truck. And when we were just about doing it, I was in line at it was the start of the very first tournament, I think, my first year on the Elites, and I was in line with Rick Clun, and I started talking to him about it, and he just sort of opened up, and he said he was ready to quit fishing. He said he was done, and
wow.
And he said because of the hotels, and he just wasn't enjoying it. And then he bought a Lance and started camping, and his career just skyrocketed, and he started having fun and enjoying it, and that's what changed his whole career, and that's when I knew what I had to do.
You can't learn from anybody better than that.
Key to success, Lance
when
Camper.
Rick Fun says something, it's going to help you.
That is right. Hey, we're doing this on the Bookface Live, as you know, and your fans have some questions for you. Are you ready for it?
Cool. Yeah.
JP, hi. What do we got going on over there?
All right. Dana asks, do you like our various waters in the U.S.? But I'm going to add on to that. If you can only pick one, the U.S. or Australia, where are you fishing the rest of your life?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a tough one. We do have some amazing fishing in Australia. The fishing in Australia is one thing that I do miss a lot. But opportunities and the fishing and the amount of fishing that is in variety in America, I definitely love it here. They're my two favorite countries by far.
He's going hashtag America. Hashtag
yeah,
America. You're picking America. What
the
else we got?
The opportunities and the fishing here and the largemouth and the tournament scene is just, it's mind-blowing to an Australian to be here and see it.
Absolutely.
We got someone ask. We know you're fishing the Opens. Are you trying to re-qualify for the Elites?
I would like to. This is my first year on the FLW tour, and I really wish I did the tour a little bit earlier. I grinded so hard and wanted it so bad that I made the Elites too early. Like, I did it through sheer grit or something, like just being crazy, wanting it so bad that I made the Elites, and I just simply wasn't ready. And that would have been fine quite a few years ago when they weren't kicking guys out. So if you weren't good enough, you had time to learn and get better on the Elites. Well, now you're in, and if you don't catch them straight away, you're out. And I didn't really play for that, but I should have been going as a co-angler, doing what I was doing, fishing the Opens for experience. And then if you can't compete on the FLW tour, then you shouldn't be probably fishing the Elites, because it's just the jump from the Opens to the Elites was such a huge gap that was just like playing backyard football compared and then jumping in the NFL. It was
so
just
competitive.
Crazy the difference. And that was so me getting kicked out, and it hurt and it sucked, and it was my lifelong dream. I worked for it so hard and I made it, but this will be a big it was a big learning curve for me. And going back now fishing the FLW tour, it's just going to I learned so much. I'm just going to get better and better, and I'm not in a rush to make it back, but I would like to, because the Bassmaster Classic is just the pinnacle for me. I want to get there one day, and I want to get the Forestwood Cup. But the FLW Tour was one of the best things that I'd done, and I really enjoyed my time there, and it's got my confidence up, and I'm just learning a lot. So I'm really enjoying the FLW Tour, and that's what I want to fish. But eventually, I will work towards making the Elites again, and when I do, I'll be a lot better off.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's just perseverance. I mean, as we said before, it's not easy. This is not as glorious as everyone cracks it up to be. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
but it's perseverance, and you seem the type that doesn't easily give up.
No, that's what you got to do. You got to, yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, if you don't quit, you never know what's around the corner. You only lose if when you quit, and that's what it took me 4 years. You know, and to me, to some people that might sound like a lot, but that was 4 years like away from my family and friends, and going broke and going back home and thinking I'm not good enough and it's impossible, and everyone telling me it's impossible to do, and then to do it was just the most incredible feeling of my whole life, to make the elites, and something that anyone said would never be able to be done by an Australian that's never caught a largemouth bass before.
It's quite an
It's
obstacle.
just, I wanted it so bad, and I worked so hard that I actually made it too early. And then, like, when I got there, I had some great finishes, and I showed that I can compete with these guys, but I need to find that consistency, and I'm finding that now. And in the next couple of years is going to be big for me to get that consistency. And then when I go back in, I'm going to be a lot stronger angler in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I bet you will. You got a big derby tomorrow, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. The Opens are awesome. The James River's kind of special to me. It was one of the first tournaments I ever fished as a pro when I first came here. When I first fished, I think it was 2011, and I've fished here every year since.
Nice.
So I've fished every Open, everything. So I love the James. I've had some top 20s. I've had a 13th. I've had awesome opportunities. I've got my butt whooped a lot, and I feel really good. It's time for me now. Like, this is a sort of deal where you spend that much time learning, you need to capitalize on it now, and I feel like I can.
Carl, you have a motivational phrase that you write on everything, and that I've seen called "Fear My Heart."
Yeah.
Can you explain what that's about?
Just the year before I made the elites, my cousin and my best friend back in Australia, we sort of just grew up fishing and hunting and basically doing everything together. He is a professional boxer in Australia, and
Nice.
he sort of started his boxing career when I was moving over here, trying to make the elites, and just that saying came through me and him because he has won a lot of his fights. Right now, he's very close to cracking the big time. He's number 3 in Australia, and he's got a potential, fight with Jeff Horn, who's just beat Manny Pacquiao, and his career is about to take off. But just from where we've come from and what we're trying to do, we have been behind the 8 ball as far as opportunities and even skill-wise and experience and everything, but our heart has pushed us through, and Chris's heart in his fights has won him all of them. He's just got that thing, and that was what I had. I was lacking the experience that these guys have and the skill and the knowledge and everything, but I had the heart, and the heart is what got me to make the elites when I was lacking in everything. But where it actually come from was I watched lots of motivational stuff, and I read lots of just sporting people's books and stuff like that, and successful people. But I was watching the guy that recruits Navy SEALs, and it's the toughest recruiting system in the world.
Right.
And he said that he just said something that struck me, and then I just thought of that saying, and I stuck with it. But he said the guy that makes the Navy SEALs is never the strongest swimmer, never the biggest guy, the strongest guy. He said guys make it that can't even swim. They make the Navy SEALs. He said it's all heart. He said that's it.
It's all
and he
heart.
said nothing else. It's heart.
And you got to
He said
carry
the guy
that to
with the biggest
bass
heart
fishing.
makes it. And when he said that, I was like down on my luck, and I'm like, these guys are too good. I can't make it. I haven't got the experience, but I knew I had the heart to just keep pushing, and that's what got me through. And then that year I made the elites, and then Chris, he made it. He won the Australian title in Australia and has made it basically to the top of boxing in Australia and is about to make the big step to the US and Europe. So, and that me and him just both stuck with that saying, you know, we know we're behind in a lot of things, but we've got the heart, and that's what's going to get us through.
Awesome. Outstanding, dude. Hey, we're just about out of time here, Carl. Anything you want to say to your fans or your sponsors before we head out, bud?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. You know, that my support on social media, a couple of years ago, I think I had 500 followers on Instagram, and now I've got almost 40,000 people. Just
awesome.
A lot of them through the US, and a lot of my Facebook ones are from Australia. But I just like the support I've got from the American people has really been awesome to me. They've just welcomed me into the country and made me feel welcome here, and just anything they can do, they have helped me along, and it's pretty cool to just come from another country and be able to, you know, chase your dream, and the American people sort of take that on board and try and help me do it, which is really cool. But I just want to say thank you to all my fans and everyone that's supporting me and following me, and of course my sponsors, because without them, this would not even be near possible. My sponsors got behind me when they saw what I wanted to do almost 7 years ago, and I've had some of the best sponsors there, and they've just stuck by me through the bad times and the good times, and right through till now, and we're just going to keep going. So I just want to say thank you, and appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, dude, we appreciate having,
Thank you.
you come on here, dude. I mean, thanks for the support, and we wish you the best of luck, man, tomorrow and the rest of your fishing years, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Anytime you want us on, just we'll have to do a few updates.
We're gonna do it again, man. No doubt about it. Hey, thank you so much, and we'll see you. Are you gonna be hanging out over in South Carolina next week?
I haven't been home I haven't been back to Dallas, sort of our base, for about 5 months. We've been living in the camper, so I'm like on a one-way road straight there.
Oh, there you go. You get a little homesick. I got you. Hey, best of luck, man, and thanks again so much. We really appreciate your support, Carl.
No worries, guys. Anytime.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
That's Carl Jocumsen, Tour Pro. Boom. FLW. Fishing the Bass Open tomorrow on the James River. We wish him the best of luck. Hey, put the power poles down. When we get back, it's the Mr. Big Bass champ, world champion, Bobby Lane, coming up next.
I'm John DeMay with M Jigs. Today, I'd like to share with you a little bit about a couple products that we have in our lineup that we're really excited about. The first product I'd like to talk to you about today is the Joe Football Head Jig. Right out of the package, you'll notice that our football head jig is different than most on the market. What makes our jigs different is the quality of components. Let's start with the hook. These hooks are custom made for us in Japan. 90-degree bend, black nickel hooks, razor sharp, JDM quality. All of our Joe Football Head jigs have living rubber skirts. They're hand tied with copper wire to ensure that they stay affixed, and it also helps them to flare while they're in the water. We powder paint and heat cure each jig to ensure that the paint stays on your jig even when you're fishing rock. Another feature that separates our jig from other jigs on the market is the screw lock keeper. The screw lock keeper does a couple things for you. Not only does it keep your bait affixed, it'll save you money on soft plastics that pull off of standard barb keepers. The second product I'd like to talk to you about is our hybrid flip and swim jig. We also have a custom hook in our flip and swim jig. It's a 4/0 30-degree bend black nickel hook. It has the same durable paint, the same great keeper, and a hand-tied silicone skirt to complete it. So if you're looking for a premium product that's going to give you an edge over your competition, look us up at demjigs.com.
The swim jig technique is one of the most successful ways to put fish in the boat. Time in and time out, Brovani Baits swim jigs are just the right tool for the job. Beaming with quality, the Brovani swim jigs come in a myriad of colors, feature the best premium hooks and solid trailer keepers to give you, the serious bass angler, the confidence you need to accomplish your goal of putting more fish in the boat. So go to BrovaniBaits.com and start climbing the ladder to swim jig success.
Well, welcome back to Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television.
This is a horror movie.
I'm your host, Pat Renwick. This is Ryan Popcorn Whitaker right here. And I'm not sure exactly. I cannot see through the fog. But is this Bobby Lane world champion on the Skype machine? Is this Bobby Lane?
You got it, man.
Hey, look, give it up for Bobby Lane. You're in the...
He's in a closet.
Where are you? I can't see you, Bobby. It's so dark right now.
I'm actually in South Carolina, down here in Santee Cooper. I will try to get some light on so you guys can see. But we took a break. We were on our way back from New York, and we stopped at my uncle's here at South Carolina. We've been jet skiing and tubing on Santee Cooper all day. So I'm working on getting some light here in a minute. Hopefully that'll help you guys out a little bit.
Yeah. Because I'm not. Wait, hold on. Is it really Bobby Lane, or is this Aaron Martens playing tricks on us again? Wait. Let's see. I think there's Bobby Lane. Yes, we see you. Yeah, there he is.
Hey, the cool thing about that is lights we're using right now. How cool is that?
You're freezing.
Signal's
up.
bad in the light. Might have to go back in the dark.
Yeah, we had him better in the dark. Are you there, Bobby?
I'm here.
Okay, all right. You froze up for a second. You froze up for a second. All right.
There he goes.
There he is. There's Bobby again. Bobby, dude, congratulations, world champion. How does that feel? World champion, MLF world champion.
How does it feel?
Yeah.
You know what? It sounds better than it feels.
It's outstanding, dude.
Fine. You know what? It's an awesome. It's awesome that happened. But to hear that I can finally celebrate it. I mean, we did this back in, I think, mid-March out in East Texas and Nacogdoches, and finally to be able to celebrate it and to be able to talk about it, it's phenomenal.
Because it's so hush-hush that the MLF police would just come and confiscate you and bring you to a dark, secluded continent if you even talked about it. That's got to be hard right there.
It was difficult to keep under wrap, but now the word is out. The phone's been flying off the hook. I've had people texted me just before we went on Straycast here telling me, you fixing to go live? And I said, absolutely.
Nice.
So, the world is out, and it is phenomenal to be the world champ, and I couldn't be happier to be a world champion. You know, my brother Chris Lane in 2012, he was the world champ of the Bassmaster Classic. So I tell you what, we've got one happy father for sure. He's got two sons now.
Two world champs right there, man.
Let me ask you this, though. Can you tell your family even, or do you have to keep it from everybody?
No, of course you got to tell your family. It's kind of hard to hide a 70-pound trophy.
You got to smuggle it in. Oh, yeah, it's nothing, honey. It's nothing.
It didn't work real well. I tried to hide it, but it was. They knew, but not many people. A bunch of people, even from Lakeland, had no clue at all. So, it was hard to keep in. But I tell you what, it's a feat all its own, and to be aired on CBS.
Dude,
I mean, what a phenomenal TV show. watching just before I didn't even get to watch the world champion yet because, of course, we've been in New York fishing the elites the last 2 weeks. That I cannot wait to get home and see it. And watching the few shows that
it's good.
I didn't even want to go to the bathroom. I love watching Major League Fishing so much. I mean, it's the new era of fishing for sure.
Awesome.
I get excited. Let's put it this way. I haven't been as excited to come home from fishing and watch fishing in a long time. And MLF has done that again for me. I mean, it's really done that.
You know, bass is the utmost forward looked at bass fishing there is. I mean, BASS originated, and what a great operation they have. Great television show, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, Major League Fishing has tweaked everything a little bit. And for them to be able to touch viewers that weren't involved in so much fishing and come up with a new format, I think it's just a win-win for all of us anglers. And with the new points program for anglers to be able to get into the cup events to fish the selects in advance now, I think it was something that bass fishing needed. I mean, the world is it's strong. I mean, billions of freshwater licenses go out a year. So we know fishing is going nowhere, and Major League Fishing has just really added on to what all of us anglers have been looking for over the years.
In the mainstream, I mean, the fact I shared this with you on the phone the other day, Bobby, but my dad's really not a fisherman. My grandpa got me into fishing. And my dad was like, yeah, I saw that bass fishing on CBS. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, Pat. I mean, just that shows you that's a perfect litmus test right there that people are watching golf on CBS and all of a sudden, oh, bass fishing's on. Let's check this, you know, and golf puts everybody to sleep, so I'm glad that bass fishing doesn't, you know.
I'm a huge golfer.
I know you are.
I play with a big group of guys on Friday, and they text me and they're like, can you believe we play golf with this guy on Friday? That, of course, they just turn it on Channel 10 in Lakeland, is the network. And just prior to that, is the Golf Channel. To actually even be close to those guys, I mean, those guys are so cool. The Ricky Fowlers, the Jordan Spieth, the Dustin Johnsons. I mean, you know, I just live and breathe golf, and I am a fisherman. But to even be on a channel before them and be on television, I think Major League Fishing has gone above and beyond the Call of Duty, and I hope everyone feels that way, just like your dad did when he says, I'm watching this bass fishing. That's exactly the answers Major League Fishing wants to hear.
Yeah, and knocking it out by choosing the correct location. How perfect was that?
Oh, man.
I tell you what, it was perfect for me, that's for sure, to be the world champ.
So, I mean, there was a time, you know, and no offense by this, that people thought of when they think MLF, they're thinking Kevin Van Dam. But now the tides have turned. I mean, I think that Bobby Lane is MLF now.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not taking anything from Kevin Van Dam.
No.
He washed us clean in Waddington just a few weeks ago. But you're right. It was I put it all together that week. I mean, the Edwin Evers, the Greg Hackneys, the Mark Davis, Kevin Van Dam, the Jeff Crete, all the way, you know, the squirrel fighting his way all the way to the end there. It was, I got a whole year to live on this. Let's hope they do it again, because I want to get back to this where they say the defending world champion is fishing. That is something I'm looking forward to, and something I'm going to shoot for all year to try to qualify for again.
Absolutely, dude.
You know what the great thing about it for me is, and for you, I think, is that it's really made a resurgence for all you shallow water specialists. Just because you don't have a lot of time to, you know, you got 15 minutes, and you're not going to go find a mega school, chances are, unless you get lucky out offshore. So you guys can get up there. Yeah, you guys can get up there shallow and just vacuum it up like you do, and you'll benefit from that. And it's so good for the shallow anglers, and it's so much more exciting to watch. Agreed. I think.
It was a lot of mix up. We fished 3 different lakes, and all 3 of them honestly fished completely different. And I was just making a lot of the right decisions. And the fish were telling me exactly what they wanted. It would be Make a bait change, wouldn't get a bite. Make another bait change, catch 2 in a row. Stick with that for a little while, make another bait change, they would eat that. But you're right, they were all in 4 foot of water or less. And then see a sight fish just laying on the bank in the middle of nowhere, and then go another mile each way and not see a sight fish. It was where you just had to keep an open mind. And I really think I love to cover new water. I don't like to sit in one spot and fish and try to milk a school of fish. And that's what really it helped me out a lot, for sure.
It made every fisherman want to go to Natchitoches, Texas, or whatever the heck the name of that place is, right?
What is it? Lake I fished. It was in Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches.
Natchitoches, Lake Jacksonville, and I can't even pronounce the last one. But
yeah.
I've had people texting me saying, "Hey, spring is canceled next year. We're heading to Nacogdoches to go check those lakes."
Absolutely.
We're gonna They're excited. They're ready to get up there and see those, and they will catch them like that. I mean, swimming a 4x4 jig all week long was one of my super keys. Berkeley Havoc, bottom hopper. I threw it in several different colors. That's what I ended up winning the championship on. Sight fishing was key to me, just putting a little tiny, believe it or not, a Bobby Lane Havoc, crawl fatty, the smaller one on there. Those little sight fish flipped it. I mean, it was perfect for everything that I like to do.
Yeah, dude, it's set up perfect, man. And again, we're so stoked for you on this, dude. That's a big deal. It's a big deal, Bobby. There's no doubt, man.
Sitting on it for 6 months, not being able to tell nobody. I get to talk about it.
That's like, like you got a special date with that gal in high school, and she's like, you can't tell anybody about this. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of like that.
My wife's sitting over here to the left of me. She didn't laugh at that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. No offense. No offense intended.
Oh, she's laughing now. She's laughing. Trust me.
All right, let's talk.
Somewhere. I don't know if you can see them. I got the whole family back here.
Oh, there it is.
Where are they at? There's Lexi, Madeline.
What's going on?
Amberly, come on over. Say hi. I mean, all these guys are my support. They're my strength. They're what keeps me going day in and day out. That's for sure.
That's the Lane
tribe. Having a great family we have up here in South Carolina. Lets us jet ski all day and ride the inner tubes. There she is. That's my little gymnastics queen, Amberly. Say hi.
Hey there. How you doing? What's going on? Give us a high five. Internet high five.
You say it.
There it is. Boom. She got it. She nailed it right there. Nailed it.
She's scubbling down Doritos as we talk. So
nothing wrong with that.
That's
what summer's all
she's
about.
Having a ball up here.
So you're on Santee? Are you on Marion or Moultrie?
Nope. My uncle has 2 houses right here across from John C. Landing, right here at Talk Hall. We go to Goat Island for dinner. I mean, it's gorgeous up here. A little cold front actually came through. It's only 75 degrees tonight, so it's actually beautiful outside.
Wow. That's nice compared to the dang heat wave you guys been having. Hey, let's talk BASS. You want to get back to some BASS here? Want to talk a little bit about Bobby Lane Bassmaster Elite Series angler? You're sitting decent right now in points, aren't you?
I was sitting a lot better before we went to the last 2, but you know what? I'm not complaining. You're right. I am sitting decent, 25th in the points. Just got train wrecked by an Aaron Martens last week, but you'll have that. And what an amazing finish he had, and a congratulations to him winning that elite event from a comeback from 19th place.
Outstanding.
But I'm happy with my points. Had a little struggle in New York, and I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to go to Michigan already. I'm excited to get there, and I'm excited to get to the championship.
Absolutely, man. Now you're we have an interesting fact about you, and I want to know if you know this or not. If you know this about you, do you know how many pounds of bass that you have caught in your career on BASS?
How many tournaments have I fished? Can you give me that stat? At least let me take a shot at it.
120 something. Just over 120, I know.
Let's say, if I average 10 pounds a day at, let's say, 20 pounds, let's say, what's 20 times 129?
I'm a bad mather. I don't know.
Okay, 20,000 something. That's our guess.
Oh my gosh, 20,000. No, JP, tell Bobby how many pounds of fish he's caught.
You've caught 4,664 pounds.
Well, then that would have been the 2,000, not the 20,000. That's
yeah, we're
bass.
yeah.
It's a lot of bass.
We catch bass. We don't do math. I mean, your kids will figure that one out.
There's 3 types of people in the world: those that are good at math and those that are not.
Exactly. So 4,664 pounds, and you've earned $1.36 million bass fishing. So now, here comes the super math skills. Are you ready, kids? Listen up. I'm going to smarten you up here. Each pound of fish that your father has caught is worth $291.60 a pound. Not too shabby. How about a studio audience round of applause for that one right
That's
there?
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow. Your dad is rich. Your dad is rich.
Wait, my wife is sitting to the left of me. I've told you. You guys watch that secret stuff. Golly. He makes a decent living.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, tell me a story about alligators. I'm infatuated with alligators. Tell me an alligator story.
I don't know how deep I want to get into these stories. What, somebody send that in, tell you had to tell me?
No. Yes.
You know, I'm an alligator. I used to love alligators. We've hunted them. We've had them for pets. We've kind of done a little of everything with them. And now I actually just enjoy watching them swim around. That's probably the best thing for me to say. I got in some trouble a long time ago with those, so I promised I'd never mess with them again, and to this day I haven't. But they're pretty impressive creatures, man. I'm telling you, my kids love them. We got them in Florida, thicker than thieves, and I'm glad I learned what I did when I was at a young age, so they don't have to go through the battles that I went through, because me and my brother both, we're lucky to have all 5 fingers. I promise
Well played, Mr. Lane. Well played. Well played. All right, let's talk some more about some Florida myths and legends. Now, I was told to ask you about this too. Have you ever had an encounter with a skunk ape in Florida? Have you ever?
A skunk game?
A skunk ape.
Yeah.
A skunk ape. Where did we see the skunk ape, Madeline?
They're not real.
Yes, they are.
Madeline, they're real.
Here.
Put Madeline on.
We saw one somewhere. I can't remember where, but I have not. Where at? Oh, Amberly is saying that we saw one that was at Camp Mac. They have the skunk ape at Camp Mac, Florida. If you want to see one hanging on the wall, you go to Camp Mac, Florida. You will see a skunk ape.
So it's proof. It's proof that they exist, right? I mean, it's like a chupacabra.
You're right. It's a deer butt with a skull hanging out of it. Is that what you're talking? That's what I call a skunk ape.
Well, skunk apes are like swamp Bigfoots.
That's exactly what it is. See? I will take a picture and have it sent to you guys when I get home. I'll drive down there, take the kids fishing off the dock, and take a picture of that thing for you.
Excellent.
Please do.
We are totally looking forward to that. We're totally looking forward to it. Hey, we like to play games here. Okay, you know that. You know that about us, right? It's not your first rodeo here with this show. So we're gonna play a little game show. Have you ever been on a game show with us before, Bobby?
Nope.
Okay.
I am excited, and I got my sidekick with me, and she couldn't be more excited.
Okay, excellent. And we can play this. It's this is called the Bass and Match game. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a phrase or a term, and then you relate it to bass fishing. Okay. Whatever pops in your head. All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Yes, it's the Bass and Match game. The Bassmaster Elite Series and world champion MLF fisherman, Bobby Lane. Bobby, the first word to you is rattlesnake shake. Rattlesnake shake. How does that relate to bass fishing? Wait, where's Bobby? He froze.
How about a rattling vibe?
What? Wait, say it again. You kind of froze up there a minute.
Yo, Zuri, rattling vibe. That's all I can think of.
That's a good answer. Yozuri, rattling vibe. Yin and yang. Yin and yang.
That's got to be the new knuckle bait by Yozuri. I'm sorry, but
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
The knuckle bait. I'm telling you.
Okay, there it is, right there. This one is June bug or red shad. June bug or red shad. That's an easy one.
June bug or red shad. Our dog is named June bug, our miniature schnauzer. So I'm sticking with June bug. Here he comes. He's coming to say hi. There's June bug.
June bug.
Say hi, June bug.
There's June bug. You only get this on bass fishing talk shows.
Okay.
That's outstanding. Crop duster. Crop duster.
Crop duster.
That's you when you ate.
Madeline, that's not me. No, it's not me. No, you guys cut that out.
That relates to bass fishing.
Give wife. She's calling that the Bobby Lane.
The Bobby Lane special. The crop duster. A studio audience for that one. Come on. Give us a little bit on that one. Madeline's awesome. Next time we're going to have her on. Yeah, we're having her on next time. Ancient Indian burial ground. Ancient
burial. That sounds like a Grand Lake.
It's like bedding bath.
Yeah.
Bedding bath.
Yeah. Spawning fish are gonna eat the crawfatty junior on the bed. That's what me and Madeline come up with.
You
on
are
that
a
one.
weaver. I'm loving how you're weaving this in. That's how you do it. That's how a true bass fishing pro does it. Okay, last thing. Pow!
Pow! That's
Pow!
a Chris Linton. Get her done, son. Chris Linton.
Does he ever aggravate you with that? Are you at like Christmas dinner and then all of a sudden like the roast beef is really good and he'll just go pow and you're like, cut it out, Chris.
It's nice to hear, he's had a struggle this year. He knows that. I'm not telling you nothing new. Seeing him get a top 10 last week and make a check the week before and watching me struggle a little bit, to hear him say pal again finally, there was nothing sweeter because I've missed that word all year long.
There you go. Have you been in any fist fights in your life with Chris, and who won? You or Chris?
If there was a fist fight, I'd win. If there was a wrestling match, I ain't getting up.
He got to catch you first, don't he?
He's a grappler.
He gets me on the ground, I'm a dead man.
Hey, man, I know we're having fun. Let's just keep having fun. This is great. We're getting to see your family. That we're getting to see the family dog. We're playing game shows. I mean, this is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying, Bobby?
Hey.
Spider. Oh, there's a spider attacking us. It's actually a skunk ape, a spider
I got
monkey.
him. I got him.
Attacked us in the studio here.
Studio sprayed down.
Hey, I'm a big fan of country music legend Merle Haggard. How about you?
I'd like a little bit of Merle Haggard, yes, sir.
We're gonna give America right now a little Merle. Me and you. Are you ready? You got your
Oh boy.
You got your chops. You got your chops up.
America.
America's going right. You see, I got my American Rolling Stones shirt on right here too, just for this. Merle loved the Stones. I don't know if you know that.
You need a train beat?
But here we go. Now we're gonna do a little duet. We're gonna do a little duet together, Bobby. Are you ready?
Yeah, singer's here with me too.
Yeah,
you played a song.
All right, wait, and we're gonna do a duet. I'm gonna hit the first line, okay, and then you come back and follow me up with the next line. Are you ready?
Just gonna chime with the song?
Yeah, we're doing it a cappella like a boy band. This is our Merle Haggard boy band.
Got a singer with me. Look at here. I got my oldest daughter, Lexi. She is a singer.
No, I suck.
We're gonna nail it. Don't worry, we're gonna nail it. So I'm gonna do the first line, you do the next line, and then we'll do the hook together. Are you ready? Okay, ready? I gotta get in tune. Could be holding you tonight. Come on. Come on, Bobby. Don't make me.
Oh man, I wish we need it. That's one of my favorites.
All right, I'm gonna give it again. Now you got your.
I think I'll just sit here and drink.
I think I'll just sit here and drink. That was awful. That was god awful right there. My. That's okay though.
The record skipped.
Yeah, something happened with our 8-track cassette skipped right there. So we're sorry about that. That was
The needle was stuck.
That's awesome. Hey, what's the oldest lure in your tackle box?
One of the oldest lures would probably be the old spin worm. I don't carry it. I'm sorry. One of my, the most memorable is a 113 double horse. My grandfather passed away years ago, and all he ever threw was a double horse and a blue Rapala. He ordered 500 from the company when they were from Smithwick when they were in business, and it was the 113. And he still had the receipt when he bought him, the invoice, and it said, "Yes, this man really wants 500 of this bait," and it was the Smithwick 113. It's the Silver Shiner, and to this day, our whole family still catches bass on it down there in Florida.
That's a Florida
Awesome.
fish catching machine. That bait right there, dude.
Double horse, but he trimmed the spinners to perfection. It was impressive to watch him throw that thing, and you had to put it in a pocket about 2 foot wide from 30 yards out with a 20-mile-an-hour south or north wind, and trust me and my brother learned how to cast real quick.
Wait, I'm intrigued. You said trim the spinners. What do you mean? What are you doing?
Well, he would take a file and smooth them down to where they were more oval, so you wouldn't get as much chop off the prop, which would leave the bait in the strike zone longer. Trust me, I went through 16 years with him in the boat. I know everything about a trim spinner. We're not going to get in the nitty and gritty about it, but it's a long, long secret that it works.
Hang on, I'm writing this down.
Yeah, will you text me a picture of a trim spinner later, please?
You got to trim those spinners. It doesn't make the bait move as far, and it keeps the bait in the strike zone longer. And they would just redesign it. It was impressive to learn.
Oh man,
got it.
I think that is the tip of the week.
That
right
is
there.
the tip of the week.
That's the tip of the week. Trim the spinner from Bobby Lane. Hey,
Yep.
I'm gonna highlight it.
Yeah.
Put the on there. Trim the spinners on a 113.
Trim the spinners on
Madeline,
one.
come in and say hi. Madeline's coming in to say hi. There she is. Did you guys get to see my wife?
Hey, what's
There
going
she
on?
is.
How you doing? We remember you from last time. You had to save Bobby's Skype last time too.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Talked about the lucky underwear.
Yes.
Oh, why'd you bring it up? Now they're going to hound me again.
You don't change your underwear?
No. I buy him lucky underwear for him to wear at tournaments. The final day is like a fish scale pattern.
Not Spider-Man. They're not the Spider-Man ones.
Now I'm George.
Yeah,
I got new ones. I'm new ones. I'm
Our
George.
daughter bought him some
George of the Jungle?
If I remember, I thought the last ones had dollar signs on them.
Yeah,
and
they were
green.
Get her in the full picture there.
I promise you do not want to see the jorts.
We wanted to say hi. Hey, we wanted to say hi to the Keller family. I know the Keller family was watching. We want to make sure we say hi to Junior, Madison, Hoyt, Bud, all them. They were just texting me saying they were watching us live earlier. So from South Carolina to Lakeland, hi to the Keller family.
There it is. It's a small bassin world, isn't it, Bobby and Madeline? Small bassin world.
These guys are ate up with it. They got a son named Junior and a kid named Hoyt. I bet Hoyt has thrown, I promise you this year, 100 frogs into the trees and not retrieved one of them back. So the frog is good right now.
Oh, man. Hey, I just want to say thank you to you and your entire family for coming on the show with us, man. You only get this on a bass fishing video talk show. You know, where else do you get this?
You're not going to get it anywhere. And I want to thank you guys for taking the time. Thank you. My cousin here, he's been holding his flashlight on the golf cart just so you guys can have light. So I'm telling you, the Lane family is having fun tonight, and the world champion couldn't be more happier to get back home and celebrate that trophy.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lane, world champion. World champion. World champion. High five me on the way out. Give me a high five on the way out. This is what we do. Boom, right there, Bobby. Thank you so much. We'll have you on again soon, okay, bud?
You got it, guys. I'll get you that picture of the
Skunk Ape.
skunk ape. Skunk ape is coming your way.
Awesome. We appreciate it. And safe travels to you, and best of luck at St. Clair, man.
All right, let's hear a little music before you guys leave. I got to hear some.
Okay, we're going to play our theme song. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We wrote this. This is me singing, Ryan on drums, Larry Kyleman on guitar. This is our theme song. This is true story. We wrote it. Ready? Here's some phenomenal vocals right here. It's a Stray Cats theme song. Lane family, God bless you. Peace. We'll see you next time. Hey, bass fishing world, keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. It just gets better from here. Or can it get any better? I don't know. Coming up next, Brandon Palaniuk and Jake Boomer from Alpha Rods coming at us live. Put the power poles down. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. This is Ryan Popcorn Whitaker, and I'm not sure what we got going on here, but I do know that is this a first? Andy, is this a first ever? Is this actually happening right here?
This is historic.
Historic moment of Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television, and we are stoked that the first people ever on the double Skype are Jake Boomer and Brandon Palaniuk from Alpha Rods. Let's give it up for them right there. Woo! Yes. Yeah.
Dude,
what's going on?
How come I can't see Jake's goofy mug?
I don't know. Where's Brandon?
Did you hit the video option?
It's Brandon Palaniuk.
Well,
He's a
can
video.
See myself.
He
My
knows
video's
this.
on, but did Jake hit video?
Jake,
I did hit video. I can't see Brandon either, so I don't know if he's being smarky when he talks to me.
I guess we just can't see each other, which is probably for the better.
You can hear each other though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear him.
Okay, here comes Brandon. There's Brandon.
There you are.
We got Brandon now, and he's got clothes on. Thank God. We heard you were getting crazy in the camper. We're glad that this is going well.
It's getting late.
Hey, man, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I mean, you guys are basically Of course, that Jake is the founder of Alpha Rods, but together you guys are kind of like the nucleus, aren't you?
You can call it something like that.
I'm getting scientific on you guys right now. Let's call you the nuclei of Alpha Rods.
You guys are like Hall and Oates.
Yeah. You're like Penn and Teller.
Could it?
It's the
Like
nucleus.
Siegfried and Roy.
Well, technically.
Yeah, you're
The
like
nucleus is one cell, so you're saying that we share a brain.
yes, you have basically come together with the union of the nuclei of rod technology right now.
Nuclei.
In fact, that should be the slogan for Alpha Rods: the nuclei of rod technology.
Right.
You're
So
not
if we
buying it?
share a brain, who has it today?
I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide. I mean, I can't make those kind of decisions. I'm just a talk show host. That's what I do. I don't know. Hey, can you guys give our producer Andrew Ellenberger a round of applause, please, Jake and Brandon, for figuring this whole double Skype thing out? Can you guys give him a round of applause, please?
Yeah.
Yay!
Give it
Hey, give yourself one.
Awesome, man.
Hey,
Yes.
he gave himself one. Look at that.
Yes, there's the audience. Hey, but seriously, guys, I mean, what a cool deal here. This whole Alpha Rod thing, man. I mean, talk about quality. All right, talk about technique-specific applications. Talk about building the perfect beast. What gave you the inspiration to do this, Jake? Where'd this come from?
Well, it wasn't not anything incredible like you're making it sound. It was like I was fishing.
I'm a hyper.
It wasn't like we had this genius plan that Einstein helped us dream up. We were fishing. I was fishing a lot of tournaments before Brandon was ever a pro too, and just started building rods. We started, we were asking a lot of questions, not happy about, the rods that we were getting into, and so we started just kind of building our own. It kind of started with me, but we traveled together. The Northwest has like a bunch of. We are not allowed out of our little cage. The closest BFL type, like pro-am tournaments we have are like 12 hours away. So we're all a group of anglers that fish up here, and I call it the shark pools and the shark. We just swim around and take chunks out of each other, camp in the same campgrounds. But that stuff kind of grows, and you have a new rod or you have a new idea or something like that. And Brandon and I would travel to tournaments and we talk about that kind of stuff. It just kind of grows. People put their input into it, and so that's kind of where it started. That was years ago. That was 7 or 8 years ago.
And Brandon, how good does it feel that you can finally talk about these awesome rods now, and you're not held down by the beast anymore, and you can talk about these rods?
Well, it's awesome for me because it's almost like a dream come true. Because I tried to talk Jake into starting this company like probably 3 years ago, after I'd been fishing professionally for a while, and I had messed around with some of the rods when we were at home, and when we'd see each other, he'd hand me one. What do you think about this rod? And I knew that there was something special, and I tried to get him to start it. He wasn't ready to put his big boy pants on yet. And so finally, here we are in 2017, and we're unconventionally attacking the rod market, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tell us a
sword
little.
fight.
Yeah, tell about this plan. I mean, and when you say unconventionally, what does that mean? Tell us.
Well, from my standpoint, one of the hardest things is like finding a rod that is built the way that it should be. You run into there's a lot of factors that go into that. One of them in price point. That was one thing that we didn't want to do. We knew we wanted to do something different, and the number one goal was to build the best performing rod possible.
It sounds like
number two, take care. What was that?
Sorry, buddy.
Go ahead, Jake. What did you say?
Well, it sounds like it was a genius plan on how to build it, but I love to think that we were miracle workers in our planning. But what really happened was we started building these rods, and we didn't have any constraints because we didn't have this plan of this big company. And Brandon actually, I think it was in 14 or 15 when Brandon called me. His contract was up, and he said, "It's kind of time for you to grow up. Let's go, let's do this." And I'd been in the professional world for like 20 years. I mean, like that's not easy to step out of. But then like a year and a half later, we're making these rods. Well, we didn't build them. We build them for us. Like if you're a tournament angler, we didn't put anything special on them. We didn't do anything. We weren't making them so that they looked better on the rod rack at like Cabela's. So, but they were like, if you were a tournament angler, you'd pick that rod up and you're like, yeah, that's the one. You feel it. That's the one you want. But by the time that we were selling them, we didn't build like markup into them, right? So we didn't design it so that they were going to be mass produced and put into like a Cabela's. And there's nothing wrong with like a Cabela's, but we weren't there yet. So when we flipped around and started talking about it again this last year, we were kind of forced to, make these rods that we couldn't actually sell them into Cabela's without doubling the price.
So the rods they're only available via Alpha Angler website, correct?
Well, we have a couple online. Yep. Direct to consumer, yes.
Direct to consumer. So it's a whole different genre of tackle availability right there. You're eliminating the retailers. So you, in other words, are able to give the consumer, and I'm getting all lingo-y, you're able to give the consumer a top-notch product without marking it up fivefold. Correct? Is that it in a nutshell?
Yeah, I mean, not to get too geeky, but yeah, what we have, like, I spent the last decade working for Buck Knives, and they're really tied to the retail community. But what this new social media interaction, this new online world that, even like in bass fishing, Brandon's kind of the pioneer, and I would call him the pioneer, but you can directly interact with your customer if you remove that retail level. And so we're the first direct-to-consumer fishing rod company. There's a couple in the hunting world like Kuiu and Maven Optics where they don't actually sell into the retail model so that they can they leave out that retail markup and give it back to their customers. That's what we're doing. We're not marking it up to what it should cost retail. We're just selling it cheaper to our customers.
Brandon looks frozen. Awesome. Is Brandon doing the mannequin challenge? Move a little, Brandon? Is he frozen?
He's frozen.
I shouldn't be.
Do you feel frozen?
Yeah. Are you cold?
I don't feel frozen. I feel great. It's actually, I feel like I'm sweating.
So what, Jake? What makes Alpha rods unique? What makes them unique? What's the deal with them? As far as quality and performance.
Well, I think the number one thing is we don't have any constraints. We have 7 different component sources. We buy from whoever we want, whatever we want. And this is a funny story. When Brandon called me in 14 and said, "Hey, you need to do this, but you need a better drop shot rod." And he had this rod that he was sold on. It was the one. And he's like, we've got to do this, but you need to get a better drop shot rod. And just to give you kind of an example of what we go through, we just buy blanks from any manufacturer. We have hundreds of them. We buy them, we play with them, we stress them. Brandon said no to every stinking one of them. Like,
wow.
No, not that one. No, not that one either. Like, I was like, all right, I'm glad we didn't sign in 14 because this is killing me. No, not that one either.
Tough quality control.
Have the blank made.
So, Brandon, would you consider yourself the I don't know how to put this, but like the guy behind each rod action? Can we go that far?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not behind each action. I'm just really, really picky in particular when it comes to a drop shot rod. So much so that even when we got the blank right and we were fishing out on our home lake last fall, we got the blank and I still knew something wasn't right. And we got it dialed in. One day, Jake calls me and we were just messing around. I said, what about doing the 3 first guides, our Fuji choker guides? It's a big thing on our spinning rods because it allows you to cast further. It tames the line. So we wanted to keep those, but I felt like we could make the rod lighter and balance it better. So we went to recoil guides for the next set of guides, and then we went back to a Fuji on the end, so you don't have to worry about like a recoil guide wanting to groove out on you on the tip.
Dude,
and there it was.
How
my baby was born.
There it is. That is the nuclei. The nuclei was right there.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
And that's the cool things that we can do, right? Like we're just like, okay, this is what we need. We don't have to like use all one brand on a rod. Like we can use 3 or 4 if we wanted to, if we thought it was going to make the rod perform better.
There's no limits.
And there's no limits and no constraints. And now I'm able to make a bunch of money on my favorite drop shot rod.
Nice.
I've made 40 grand on it in the last 2 weeks, so I can't complain about it.
Damn, mark that right there.
Decent.
Wow, you're doing all right. You better take me to Arby's when I see you next time, dude.
Large Coke.
Yeah. That's all right. So I mean, basically, we have you guys on today because I'm going to be straight up front with this. We have not been as excited about a sponsor in a long time as we are about being on the Alpha team. I mean, I'm just being straight up about this, man, because I'm a rod geek. And Brandon, you and I have had these conversations going back for years, man. I've built my own rods, used my own custom rods forever, and then finally here comes Boomer, who is doing the same deal, man. I'm like, yes, he's using the S-Class blank. Yes, he understands rod actions. He knows about proper comfortable components as opposed to fancy glitzy stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is the dude. Brandon, give me his number. And then Jake doesn't call me back for 2 years. And then all of a sudden,
like a month. It was like a month.
Oh, like a month. Oh, yeah. I exaggerate a lot. I'm a hyper.
That's 2 years.
Yeah, it's 2 years in my bass world right now. But all of a sudden, I get a call from Jake. And, man, dude, I'll tell you what. We are just super stoked to be part of this whole thing, man. Yeah. We really are, sincerely.
That's really cool. We're pretty excited, too. I'm excited to have you call me and tell me about all the different rods I can make you.
Yes. Yes. I have a plan for everything.
Get him a drop shot rod.
I have a
he
plan.
doesn't have one.
It's going to be called the Brandon Renwick flipping stick. Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
I'm gonna second that. That was creepy.
Special.
Yes.
The man.
Yes. Did you know that I was Brandon's manager and he fired me, Jake?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he fired me, dude.
It was self-appointed.
Yeah.
Fired him as his self-appointed.
Yeah, he fired my self-appointed position. But Brandon, I want to show you something that I don't know. Can you still see me on the Skype? Because I lost you, Brandon. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Look what I got.
Yeah,
right?
You can't see me?
I can't see you, man. Something happened. Now you're just a spinning
You got
circle.
a new pen?
I got a new one, dude. You see that? You see that? We can't
Is it
show.
a pen?
It's a
There's
pen.
no way they can see that that far away.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's the brand new one.
It's the new pen?
Yes, this one is custom. This is the Alpha model Las Vegas Naked Lady pen.
Yeah, I have one too.
Yeah,
Dang.
Ryan's got one too. We got to
Mine's
get
better, actually.
We got to get one for Jake. Do you still have the original, Brandon?
I do.
Dude, that's you got to hold on to
Yep.
that one. We got to get Jake one too because guys with these pens catch fish, catch more fish.
Is that
Also
are
get
those
distracted.
pens are they for signing the back of big cardboard checks?
Yes, they are. They're for signing checks that say $100,000.
Yes.
That is true. That is very good. All right, so you got a technique-specific lines, dude. I mean, a lot of people get overboard with different. Okay, this is the top water. And you get into rod lines, and there's 19 different rods to choose from. But you've kind of simplified that a little bit, haven't you, Jake? I mean, you guys have narrowed it down. I want to talk about the Zilla. The Zilla seems like the shiznit, for lack of a better way to put it.
Well, I should let Brandon talk about the Zilla, but we originally made it as a frog rod, but Brandon really it started becoming really unique, and because you could do so much with it. And I think a lot of times rod companies will make 10 different rods because they've got to support a certain amount of production. You know, they got to make so much stuff. And we found out we were just using the Zilla for everything. And Brandon started throwing worms and brush piles with it, you know. And a lot of guys, when they buy one, they buy 4. You know, they don't need a 7.1, a 7.2, and a 7.4. I think Brandon, weren't you the one that we're talking about making it more versatile? Just everything being the same. It's kind of a Rick Clunn theory.
Yeah,
Back
absolutely.
In the day.
Yeah.
I think
I did. I had a whole article about that.
It is, Brandon. You learned that from me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't
because-
have to agree with that.
Yeah. No, just agree with me, Brandon. And what it is, it's the basketball theory. Because Brandon and I were playing basketball together one time. Okay. So, yes.
Oh gosh, here we go.
It's a true story I just made up right now. So Brandon and I are playing basketball together one time, and Brandon was sinking them left and right, sinking them. Just like every time, I'm like, damn, dude, you're good. You're a good shot, man. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna Bugs Bunny him right now, and I hand him a biddy ball, and he starts shooting with the biddy ball, and he can't sink him anymore. And then he said to me, he's like, yeah, Pat, it's just like Rick Clunn's theory with rods and reels. If you keep the rods and reels consistent and stick with one model and one reel size, it makes you a more developed angler because there is not an adjustment period in between shooting baskets with a regulation size ball and a biddy ball. And the rest is history, and then Alpha Angler developed, and here we have the Zilla. Right? Is that not right?
That's from The Art of Angling.
Yes.
Yeah, that was where it was from.
Yes.
I think Clunn's theory was genius, but if you look at the retail rod market, then there's never one rod that's produced for longer than like a year or two. So if you really fell in love with a rod, you better buy like 100 of them right now.
I know, right?
Models keep changing, and we're not, our goal isn't to make 5 different levels of rod, and we're not going to make another rod that's like better than the Zilla. It's already the best we can make it. The only way it'll get better if something better comes out that we could put in it or put on it, or something cool with it. So Clunn's theory is really good. I think with Alpha Anglers, about the only way you might be able to stick to it for the next couple of years.
Just stay gold. Stay gold,
Stay
pony
golden,
boy.
pony boy. That's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
We worked on the Zilla. I don't know. Brandon's first Zilla was the original blank. That wasn't very long ago, right, Brandon? Actually, Brandon.
It's old.
Yeah, he had a prototype one a long time ago when we first made it, and we have been working on that blank for probably
it's old.
years. Yeah, it's old.
Brandon, how excited are you to be able to finally crank with a real S-glass cranking rod and not be confined to graphite rods of your old sponsors?
It's it's probably similar to the first time you kissed a girl.
Wow.
Back in the year, and who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
who knows how old you were, Pat? But
yeah.
I mean,
last year.
It's something special. It's just something.
This day is coming.
Yeah. Once you go S-glass, you never go back, do you?
No, and I would like to think that our S-glass is not the same as everyone else's glass cranking rods. I'm not going to give away all the secrets completely, but it's just not. It's an S2 structural grade glass. I believe that we have the lightest, most sensitive one out there that you can buy.
That's a strong
statement. I throw everything. Like, I throw our 7-foot medium heavy rebound. I throw square bills on it. I throw DT6s on it. I throw chatterbaits on it. It's just a bad little dude.
The S2. Yeah. The S2. Hey, guys, we're just about at the end. Do you guys have anything special that you want to say about the whole Alpha line? Let's go one by one here. Jake, give it to us right here. What do you want to say about the Alpha line, and where does everybody get them?
Hey, www.alphaangler.com. That's where you got to be. We're starting the Alpha Army too. So
yes, like the KISS Army.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta have an army. That's Brandon coined that one too. That we're Alpha Army. So
that's awesome. I was in the KISS Army when I was a kid.
The what?
The KISS Army. Remember the rock band KISS? I was in the KISS Army, and they sent me patches and stuff.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah,
they kicked him out because his tongue wasn't long enough.
Yeah, I didn't. I fell short on the tongue apparently. But yeah, I was a member of the KISS Army. But but yeah, that's outstanding. The Alpha Army. That is great. Are you gonna have like special shirts and stuff and like a monthly newsletter or like just like KISS?
Yeah, join the. You'll get all the special deals. Find out when the new rods are coming out. We have the new mag rebound coming out next week, so we'll try to keep people involved. The cool thing about Alpha Angler is that we're direct to consumer. We want to talk to our customers. We're able to talk to them kind of directly. There's not retail in between us. We really like that. Helps develop better rods. Helps.
It's
keep
awesome,
people happy.
dude. It's the way it should be,
Alpha.
right? I
Perfect.
mean, I hate to cut out all that other stuff, but that's the way it should be. And you take input and feedback from the customers. That's the good thing about, I don't know, for lack of a better way to put it, but a mom and pop shop to the next level might be a way that you could look at it. Brandon, say something that will want to make everyone buy Alpha rods. Go ahead, you're on the spot.
I switched to Alpha Angler rods for the 2017 Bassmaster Elite Series, and I am currently leading the points.
Wham! That's a studio audience round of applause right there. That's how we do it. It don't get any better than that.
By 40 points, to be exact.
Yeah, you're knocking it out.
That's true, but on a serious note, for me, it's a huge confidence thing. Like, I know when I pull the rods out of my rod locker, I am fully equipped with the best stuff that I can have. And when I set the hook on a fish or when I throw a bait out there, I'm confident that I have the best rod for that situation. Like, I have a tournament in the morning. I've got a rod box full of rods right now that I'm fully confident that are going to perform exactly the way I need them. And I think there's like a certain amount of peace of mind in that you don't even think about. It's like subconsciously, I just know that I'm 100% confident in it, and it allows you to think more about where you're going to make your next cast or how you're going to catch your next one, not worried about if something's going to perform.
It's the
You're
right
able to
tool.
control one of the controllables.
Yeah, the
One of
variable.
the most important
Bingo.
ones.
Yeah, one of Rick Clun's
And if he
controllables.
doesn't like it, he just calls me. Tells me to fix it.
And everyone else can do that too, right?
True.
Yeah, we do get direct communication. We can take constructive criticism. We're good at it.
You remember that movie Step Brothers? You guys remind me of the Step Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should hear some of our conversations.
While you're playing karate in the garage.
Yeah, we had to call each other and remind each other to be nice on the show since hey, let's just be nice to each other. Could get out of hand.
Just for
It's
once.
the internet. Do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want on the internet. It's awesome. But hey, guys, thank you so much, Brandon, for taking time. I know you got a big derby tomorrow, dude. James River special to you. We wish you the best of luck out there. And Jake, dude, thanks so much for bringing us on the Alpha team, man. We are completely stoked.
Yeah,
Seriously,
thank you.
man. We're honored.
Hey, thank you guys. No, thank you guys. We think it's awesome. It's gonna be cool.
We are honored. And we'll have to do this again sometime. When you guys are together, and then you guys can actually fight when you're right next to each other. That would be great.
Sweet.
Yes. Hey, we'll catch you next time. Thanks again, guys. Take care. AlphaAngler.com. Check it out, AlphaAngler.com. We're so proud to be part of that team right there. Hey, it's been a crazy show. Started off with Aaron Martens calling us from Six Flags.
I thought it was KVD.
Oh, it was KVD. That's right.
Oh, and then they turned in Aaron Martens.
KV Martens.
Yeah.
It was KV Martens from Six Flags. Boom, we had Kyle Jocumsen on Bobby Lane, and now Brandon and Boomer from Alpha Rods. Hey, want to remind you, we will not be on next Wednesday night, but next Thursday night we will be broadcasting live from the red carpet event at the Forest Wood Cup. That's next Thursday night, and stay tuned to the Straycast Bookface page and Instagram for more details on that. And we'll be doing live broadcasts from the Forest Wood Cup Expo on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're super stoked about that.
Yes.
Stay tuned. You'll know exactly what's going on. We'll keep you updated. Our social media guy, JP High, is going to tell you all that stuff. Hey, thank you to all you who watched out there. We appreciate it. Thank you to the sponsors. Without you, we are nothing. Thanks for letting us have a good time with you today. I'm Pat Renwick, Ryan Popcorn Whitaker, JP High, the Ginge Ninja, Bobby Bergren's over there, and so is Larry Kyleman. We bid you peace. Catch you next week from the Forest Wood Cup.